Hello and welcome back to another End Up Weather video. Today we are talking about the crazy period in terms of severe thunderstorms that we're about to go into. I believe for only the 6th time in the entirety of its existence, the Day 8 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center actually shows something, which is very rare. And that means that the Storm Prediction Center has very high confidence in a potential severe threat early next week. So we're going to go through, in general, the Storm Prediction Center outlooks. Currently, for today, Wednesday into Thursday, marginal risk of severe thunderstorms across North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida, mostly as that cutoff low kind of moves up the coast. And that continues into day 3, but we also have a severe threat starting up here in parts of Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, but also as that cutoff low moves into Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, we have a marginal threat there as well. But then we move into days 4 through 8, and I'm not going to do the rolling potential here. Day 4, we have a 15% chance of severe thunderstorms in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Day 5 and day 6 has less than 15%, but day 7, 15% chance in much of eastern Texas, parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana, and day 8 that shifts into Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. So here is the European model, and we're going to be taking this through just looking for severe threats. So right now we have this cutoff low that is moving through the south, bringing rain, wind, thunderstorms, but as this low pressure moves through today, it will be becoming less severe and more of a rainmaker in general, moving into the northeast on Thursday. Now, as that happens, we're looking at, potentially some significant snowfall in parts of the Front Range of the Rockies. And as that system slides down into the southern plains, we could see severe weather start to pick up in parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana as the warm, moist air from the Gulf collides with that cold air that's getting drawn in, and why that snow is occurring in the Front Range of the Rockies. And that will continue through most of the day on Friday, and eventually into late Friday, early Saturday, as this storm system continues to move north and east, eventually moving off the coast without more of a severe threat. Saturday, Sunday, very minimal things happening across the U.S., maybe some snow in the northeast. A new system moves into the Pacific Northwest, but then now we're into Tuesday, and this severe threat starts up here in Texas. You can see that we have all of this Gulf moisture. All of this is Gulf moisture getting drawn up from, of course, the Gulf of Mexico, colliding with that cold air, and all of this yellow and orange is those severe thunderstorms, or the potential for severe thunderstorms in parts of Texas. This is Monday into Tuesday, where you see that things really take off. And as this whole system continues to move through the U.S., we see that this is a primarily severe threat related storm. The low pressure itself is actually very weak during the severe threat that's ongoing. This is now into Wednesday and Thursday, but that low pressure eventually starts to rapidly intensify into the northeast, where we could see a immense draw of warm, moist air into the eastern part of the country, and we could see even severe thunderstorms extending up into Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, areas that were seeing snow 4 days ago. So these areas that have been seeing that winter just cornered in, especially in the northeast, parts of the Great Lakes, the Mid-Atlantic, just has been brutally cold over the past 2 months. We are now seeing a rapid warm-up. I don't think I have ever seen a just switch. It was just the flip of a switch. We had Winter Storm Quinlan, and then we are now in full spring mode at this point. But the potential for severe thunderstorms, that is Thursday in parts of the northeast, and then eventually that moves off the coast. Now, all of this is signals. Whenever we're looking at the European model, we're talking all signals. We really don't start to solidify the details until we get the NAM loading in any of these severe threats, which at the moment it is not. So these are all just basically speculation. But the GFS has very similar severe threats, which is a good sign that we're moving from signal to a event that will realistically happen. So we see that severe threats start to gear up on Friday. The GFS has it a little bit less significant as the low pressure is further north and we see more of a snow event from it. But we move into Saturday, minimal impacts there. But then next week, we have that low pressure in parts of the southern Rockies, which is different from the European model, but it draws up even more Gulf moisture, and we see the potential for severe threat all the way up to Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota even. And that continues to spread throughout the entire United States. You can see a giant line of thunderstorms here extending from Illinois all the way down to Texas, and that moves throughout much of the eastern U.S. before it eventually dissipates into Alabama and Georgia, and then eventually dies off before reaching Florida. But this potential here for not only a significant severe threat, but a rapidly intensifying low pressure in parts of the Rockies and the central U.S. is a very realistic scenario for springtime. We saw it with Xylia last year, and I do think it's going to happen again. I think we're going to see a storm where we have a severe threat in Texas, but at the same time we see potential blizzard conditions in areas like Cheyenne, Wyoming, Denver, Colorado, Albuquerque, New Mexico, the front range of the Rockies, maybe even into parts of the northern plains. I still think that we have one of those storms on tap. That will be our last winter storm of the year, and then we're just 100% spring mode across 90% of the U.S., excluding the very high elevations of the Rockies in the west. So, what do you think about these potential severe threats? Comment in the comment section down below. Let's have a little chat about what's going to be happening, because a lot of this is a signal. So, do you believe the signal, or is it a false signal? What do you think? But that is all I have for today. As the information continues to roll in, I will be providing updates on this potential severe threat. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of those updates. But that is all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.